The following episode is brought to you by Poison City Brewing, proud makers of Durban Poison Cannabis Lager, the beer that invites you to live your poison. How's it going, guys? It's Nasipi Zwane back again with another episode of Sludge Underground Podcast. Today, for the first time ever, we have an international band. And you know what? I'm going to let them introduce themselves before we get to them. Mitchell, introduce yourself quickly.
My name is Mitch. I play in a band called Thorns of Ivory. Yeah, that's all. Ready?
Guys, please introduce yourselves. Let the people know what the name of the band is and where you guys are from.
It's a Norwegian slang. So it's pronounced Jaggu, and it means agree or what?
It means like yes. A Norwegian saying like fuck yeah. That's something Norwegian says when they really agree to something.
Yeah.
That's actually quite a cool way to actually say like how if you want to create a band name, just be like, okay, so what's in Norwegian? What does get lost mean? Like to get lost in Norwegian, because then whatever that means, that can be someone's name for their band or something like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and now I'm really interested in knowing how that name came about. How did you guys decide on that name one day when you got together and you were like, Jaggu, that's what we're gonna call ourselves?
Yeah, it was random, basically.
I think me and Asbjørn, we talked a lot together, and we just started typing Jaggu when we were. And that became a thing, I think.
It's definitely not anything to do with me, because I don't really speak that much Norwegian, so...
Ours English is quite good, I must say.
Thank you. Well, we have Nona here.
Yeah, I'm from the north of England and moved over to Norway 3.5 years ago or something. So that's why my English is kind of good.
Have you guys heard anything about South Africa at all? If you do, what do you guys know about South Africa, if anything at all?
Great white sharks and rugby.
Oh my word, great white sharks.
Yo, that's really cool. And I just want to learn a bit more about the band. Let's finally get into this. With you guys, how far back does the band go? When did you guys sort of start the band?
Oh, it's almost 2 years now, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly 2 years now, I think, actually. I met Nonna first, and I invited him to my studio, and we just jammed. And we did that for half a year or something. And then we decided to ask a bass player. So
and then Jaggu started in a way.
Yeah.
Really good chemistry between all of us, the first rehearsal.
And has it always been a three-man band?
We actually tried a vocalist, but that didn't work so good, we think. So
yeah, we did vocals ourselves instead. But that's our weak point, maybe. But it works.
Yeah, and how did you guys sort of like 3 years back when you started the band, how did you guys decide on the genre that you do? And for anyone who might not know what the genre is, what would you guys say is the kind of music that you make?
What genre do you think we are?
It's a lot of good noise, that's all I can say.
That's good to hear.
I'm busy checking over here. It says you guys are stoner rock, which is definitely up that stream. But tell us, please.
Yeah, there wasn't really a decision about what type of music to play. It was just that was roughly where we were at with what we were just improvising to start with. So
it came out really organically, like naturally for us, like the way we make the songs.
It's a lot of jamming.
Yeah.
Just let the music play us.
In a way, yeah.
So while we're on the topic of genres, I just wanted to ask, what actually influences you guys to get the sound? What are your influences of bands that help you bring all the music together and be able to create what you guys make?
Good question.
For all of us, I think High on Fire, Sleep, and Mastodon.
Yeah.
It's like those three.
I said to one of my mates, I said, these guys are, the first thing came into my mind was literally Mastodon.
Very good.
Thank you.
But I think we probably all have like a varied and a bit eclectic mix of music from our backgrounds, maybe, which we don't really restrict. However anyone wants to play is how they play.
Yeah, we have different tastes in music, and it shows in what we make, I think, and that's making our sound unique. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And with you guys, just looking at sort of the scene, or the music scene out there in Norway, what sort of challenges have you guys sort of come across, you know, as a three-piece band that you guys are, if any at all?
It's a really good scene in Oslo, at least. It's a really strong community around the heavy rock scene.
Yeah, it's really good in Oslo, I think. You have to like put some work in it to get something back, and like always be around on concerts and meeting other bands and talk to them after concerts, and be out there.
You have to earn it. It's hard work in a way.
But I think the heavy scene in Oslo is pretty good.
So now also, are you guys in so-called lockdown with this whole coronavirus thing?
Yeah, it's starting to loosen up.
What's actually entertaining you guys while you guys are all in lockdown? What's been keeping you busy every day?
Yeah, and just making, we made a lot of new songs lately, last 2 months, and making demos.
We just did a live stream.
Yeah,
the first ever
live stream concert.
Yeah.
And were you all in individual, you were in your own houses and everything?
No, it's a venue that's really big in the doom and stoner scene in Oslo. We streamed from there, so it's a really huge stage, and
should check it out.
Yeah.
Just search on YouTube for Blitz Jaggu.
Blitz is the venue. It's a really old punk anarchist venue in Oslo. It's really cool.
And sort of just looking back at your guys' journey, are there any gigs that you guys can sort of touch on that was sort of a highlight? And are there any, this is a typical question, any gigs that you guys ever had that are maybe negative in a way that you guys remember? Any experiences at all when it comes to gigs?
Highlights.
It was supposed to be the support gig for Doomcraft.
Yeah.
But that got cancelled because of the corona. But
Playing at a legendary Norwegian guitarist, Ronny Le Tekerø. He played in a band called TNT from the 80s in Norway. Legendary guitarist, and we got to play at his summer party in 2018.
Yeah, our first concert. And that was kind of both a highlight and a really bad thing happened.
Yeah.
Maybe Asbjørn could tell.
It was a funny. We have been telling people this a lot, and it was our first gig, and a lot of like cool musicians were sitting there watching us, and in the first song, my knee just snapped out. It dislocated my knee. I just stood there and played bass, and suddenly my knee dislocated, and I fell on my ass behind the drum set or something, and
he continued playing.
Yeah, it was a set for 45 men, and
that's how heavy we are. That's how heavy the bass is.
Yeah, it's fucking heavy.
And what was sort of the crowd reaction when that happened, bro? Like, you're on stage, dislocating your knee, and you just fell over. How did the crowd react to that, bro?
I think nobody knew what actually happened. They think I just fell in a cable or something, probably. I was just laying there on the floor playing the first song, the rest of it, and I started to get myself up, and I stood up for 2 more songs, I think, and it just kept dislocating. Then an old guy just came with a chair and just gave me a chair, so I played the rest of the gig on a chair.
Wow, that's something to never to do again.
Yeah, it was painful as fuck, but funny.
Yeah, it's a video of that on YouTube too.
Yeah.
if you search for Jaggu Sniper.
But the live stream we've just done was, I would call that a high point.
Yeah, of course.
It's like 10 people or something doing the tech side, the video, lights, and recording and everything. It was intense. And it's a huge stage, like I say.
Yeah.
So
we made a show of it.
When you guys, sort of get into the process of making new music, You know, how do you guys go about it? Who does all the writing? Who comes up with all the riffs? How, like, walk us through sort of the behind the scenes before you guys release the music.
I would say the majority is because we practice in Marius' studio. We record almost everything, and most of the tracks are based on just improvised music, and then we mess with that until we're happy that it's a song.
Yeah, we make all the music together. Actually, it's not so much that we sit home and make riffs, and it just happens that when we play together.
It's cool because the first album we were really stoked on making a concept album. So the first album, Revenantian, is loosely based on a Japanese folklore and it's about a person escaping life. And he's haunted by the female demon called Hanya through a forest called Sea of Trees in Japan there. The suicide forest. But for the second album, we don't want to make a concept, we think. It's a little bit, but not
It's a
much.
little concept,
Yeah.
just to make it start with lyrics. It's really good to have some themes to write about. That could be like a red line through the album.
It's fun.
Is that something that you guys sort of generally, that someone could expect, you know, from your sound, or does every sort of album differ? Like you were mentioning, you know, the second one, would you say that you sort of have the same elements lyrically that you had in the first album, or is it completely now just different, like completely different in terms of what you guys are writing about?
I don't know how much to sort of give away on what we're doing for the second album, but there's a totally separate theme. It's nothing to do with the Japanese theme of the last one. But I mean, the lyrical stuff and the vocal is all much later in the process. The music gets made pretty much, and then we start figuring out who's going to sing and what we're going to sing about.
I want to ask, where do you guys see yourselves in, like, let's say, 5 years' time or in the next few years?
Then we're 7 years old.
Yeah, in the next few years, I think definitely one of the key things we want to be doing is pushing on with some touring, and whether that's, I think the best way into that is to get support with bands that we like. Aside from that, we're just going to keep improving as a band and make more music. That's
festivals, maybe play more festivals if possible.
Play Wacken. How far is that place from you? Because it's in Germany, yeah.
Yeah, walking. Yeah,
it's not far. We could drive there in a day or something.
we could swim there.
And I'm guessing you guys have been to plenty of those concerts there.
In the UK, I've been to a bunch of the big rock festivals, and
Yeah, you met.
I met the guys from Tool at Download
Last year.
last year. Yeah, that was really lucky.
Yeah,
We're going to suffer down here when people come over here. Like, the last time I went to a big gig was when Metallica came over here, but that was like 7 years ago or something like that. Even Naz can even tell you, like, the bands that come here are like, it's nothing.
But it's really special knowing that you guys also aspire to play those kinds of gigs as well in future and whatnot. I want to touch a bit on what you guys spoke about briefly. I know you said there that you don't know how much you can give away really in terms of the upcoming album, but if you could guys just give us, you know, a bit of an exclusive, any information at all, maybe even the name of the album, or how many tracks it has, when we can expect it to be released.
yeah, it's a hard. We are writing it right now, so a lot of the stuff about how many tracks it is and things like that we will see later, I think. But we want it to be more shorter songs, basically. So we're not making like 9-minute epic songs. Like
It's a little bit more. It's a little bit more brutal, I think.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
more heavy, more like and catchier as well.
More catchy and heavy, and more vocal harmonies. We're trying out that too.
I think because when we basically finished all the music for Revenantian and didn't really know who was going to be singing, so we figured that out in the recording process. So recording the next album is going to be different because we're a lot more solid on how we want the vocal to be. And we've sort of settled on everyone singing, so...
Yeah, so I scream and growl, and I try to do that, and he's the angel, he sings like an angel, and he's like a roots that keeps us in the middle.
Yeah.
But I see some, some soundproofing material there on the roof and stuff, and you guys are recording on like a proper, there's like a proper setup there. Is that where you guys sort of record your stuff, or is that sort of like a practice room? How do you guys get the stuff recorded?
Everything was recorded in my studio outside Oslo, where we practice and make demos. So I work in the studio every day, so that's kind of my job. So and a challenge for me to mix and record my own band too. But I think it's a really good thing to have a studio. So I mixed the album, and his friend in England is mastering.
Yeah, Mike Fearon, an old friend of mine, a guitarist. He's really good with the mastering and the tech side of that. So
it's nice when you know some people that actually do the most important stuff of the band, eh? Because you're like, oh, we want to record something. I'll just leave it to her, you'll do it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, how can we repay you? And we're like, no, just get me beers or something like that.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, and it would be good, I think, to record live playing together. I think that'll really add something to the process and to the sound. So
Now, what do you guys enjoy most about working with each other as a trio? What does each person sort of learn from the other?
A lot.
more brutal questions.
Well, I feel like I play with two really good musicians that have been playing many more years than me. So I started later with playing bass. I started when I was 20 years old or something. While these guys have played since they were kids. So my skill level is just like going in the roof, playing with those guys. Yeah, so I feel really lucky to just hang out with those people. My bros.
Yeah, and I think we're all pushing each other to be better also. That's a good thing with the chemistry.
Yeah, like for example, I have always resisted drumming and singing at the same time. I've resisted that in every band I've been in. But with these guys, it's like, if that's gonna add something to the music, then I'm just gonna do it. And there's no time limit on, okay, that has to be ready next month. It's the vibe is so solid that if that takes 3 months to learn to do that for that track, then that's fine. Which is important because it takes a bit of time sometimes.
I see that you guys have got, I've just literally before we came on to interviewing you guys, I was busy watching that music video, Misaka. How did that all come about? Like the thought process on that music video and the sound is just so heavy and like how was that whole thing brought together?
So
thanks.
So, thanks for that. That's cool to hear. A lot of the things we end up doing is just some stupid throwaway comment like, okay, let's just. Wouldn't it be funny if we had this as the background for a music video, and then it ends up happening like weeks or a couple of months later? So you got to be really careful what you joke about. But yeah, Misaka, that video was recorded just outside the studio here. There's basically a huge pile of stone.
We actually broke into a place to do it, so we had to watch if people came and shit.
Yeah, but all of that was, we had people filming and stuff, but it was all just driven by us, basically. And
and we cut the video ourselves.
And we had a Russian guy on a drone, and a girl were directing it, Michelle.
Yeah, just on my end, sort of to touch on, it's 2020 right now, and I know that Mitch did ask what you guys have planned for the next 5 years, but now looking at it more in a current state in 2020, what else can we expect from you guys for the remainder of the year?
Maybe some singles, and maybe some live recordings released. Maybe.
Yeah, you're working on a couple of yeah, one single now. So hopefully will be out before the summer, I think, just to get something out there.
We're hoping that this Corona thing goes away somewhat and we can play some of the live shows that we've had to cancel. That would be really good.
We want to play where you guys live as well. Is it Johannesburg? Where is it? Johannesburg or?
All the bands, like I said, all the bands, they go up to Johannesburg, they go to Cape Town, and then in Durban we're just like, So
Yeah.
we need you guys to come through to Durban as well. In actual fact, just do a whole tour. Just hit the three major cities, Joburg,
Come to
Cape Town, Joburg. People would love you guys here.
Yeah, but there we go. That's another aim in the next 5 years. We're going to do a tour of South Africa.
Yeah, that would really be sick. Because I really like the kind of stuff that you guys do. A lot of people would appreciate, your music. So even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to help each other, right?
And yeah, with I think on my end, like I feel like I've learned a little more about you guys. I'm definitely, more excited to also just go and check out, the music video that you guys are talking about, the music that you were talking about. Mitchell, I don't know if there's anything left on your end.
Not at all, bro. I've covered what I needed to say.
All right, sweet. So now before we close out, are there any sort of shout outs that you guys want to give, anyone you want to say hi to or give thanks to?
Probably a bunch of people.
Give us the whole list.
Join Tugger.
Yeah, band we've played with a few times. We're really into. Just dropped an album, Joint Hugger, so you should check those guys out.
Yeah, and Håndgemeng.
Yeah.
St. Karloff is cool.
Yeah, and St. Karloff, again, played a few times with those guys, and they're really doing really well, as they should be. So, yeah, there's loads of people we should probably do shout-outs for, but...
No, it's all right. It's all good. And who are you guys online? Where can people sort of get in touch with you if they want to check out your music, if they want to check out your social media pages?
Yeah, it's you can find us on Bandcamp and Instagram and Facebook.
Jaggu Official.
Yeah,
And YouTube as well, for more videos there.
the live video.
It's one more music video too, with Rambo.
Yeah,
Should check
Yeah.
that out.
just search up Jaggu
Rambo.
Oni.
Jaggu Rambo.
Yeah, tribute.
No, that's cool. And what song of yours can we sort of play out the show with, just so people can also get a taste of what you guys are about?
Hanya, maybe.
Yeah, Hanya. That's a good one to play out with.
Yeah, that was the Japanese folklore thing. It's about a guy haunted by the demon Hanya. But the
Yeah.
lyrics...
Yeah, that's one that I've written lyrics on, and
it's about tough love, isn't it?
yeah, about failing miserably at being in love with people.
All right, no, that's really cool, guys. I want to thank you guys again for coming through to the show. Really appreciate it. Being our first ever international band, which is insane, and I really hope to see you guys come down to South Africa.
Thanks for being patient.
Yeah, thank you guys for being patient as well.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
Thanks very much.
Hey, that's epic, guys. Just closing the show. Catch this episode on Apple Podcasts. We are Sludge Underground Podcast, and on SoundCloud it is Sludge Underground. And also just catch all our stuff on Instagram at Sludge Underground, on Facebook Sludge Underground, and on Twitter at Sludge031. Our stuff also goes up on Spotify. We are Sludge Underground Podcast. So yeah, please guys, do tune in. We're gonna be closing out. It's been Jaggu that we've had on the podcast. Guys, just give me the name of your track one more time. I want to see if I can pronounce it.
Is it actually spelled Hanya?
Two N's, I think, in there. Hannnya, yeah.
Because I've actually got a Hanya mask on my... I've got a tattoo Hanya mask on my arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Check.
That's the mask.
Yeah, that's the one. That's her.
Awesome,
That's
dude.
awesome.
It's for you, man. The song is for you.
It's the female demon.
Hey, that's epic. Okay, guys, yeah. So until next time, guys, do enjoy the track. Until then, it's bye for now.
Fine.